Morning, guys. I'm off to work. Wait a minute. I don't need this mask on today. I'm a school teacher off for Thanksgiving break. And it's just me here in my kitchen. And we're going to cook a turkey. Okay, everyone. We're going to start with a 12-pound turkey. We are going to dry brine our turkey. It makes tender and juicy meat, and it's much easier than a wet brine. So stay with me. Okay, to brine this bird, we are going to use about 6 to 7 tablespoons of kosher salt. Be sure and do not use iodized salt, only use kosher. And this is 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. That won't make it sweet, but it just helps the salt to soak into the meat. We are going to rub this all over our turkey, and then we are going to let it hang out in the refrigerator for 24 hours. I have mixed all of the brining ingredients together, and I've started to rub it in. That's really all you do. Turkeys come with a little flap of skin, usually over the legs. I just slipped them out so I could spread out, and I'm going to rub this all over my turkey in a snap. Our turkey's all rubbed down, and some of this spilled off brine. You can just pat it on there. It does not have to be perfect. Our turkey's all brined on the top, the back, the sides, and back in the roasting pan. I'm going to pop it in the fridge, uncovered, for 24 hours. Uncovered is important because it will dry the skin out and ensure that it will be crispy when it is cooked. See ya in 24 hours. Okay, we're about to pull our turkey out of the refrigerator after sitting 24 hours. And we will rub it down with herbed butter. This is 1.5 sticks of softened butter. Some dried herbs. This is some thyme and rosemary. And we'll put a little cracked pepper on the turkey as well. Okay, I've just removed our turkey from the refrigerator. It's supposed to look a little discolored. That's what the salt does. As you can see, there's just maybe a little salt in some areas. Most of it's gone down into the bird. I'm going to remove this to a cutting board to rub it down and empty out all the water in the bottom and get the roaster ready to go back into the oven at cooking time. Okay, I'm just taking a fork and just mashing the butter with the herbs until it gets very well mixed. Okay, our herb butter is mixed up, and our turkey, I've patted it dry with some paper towels, and it's ready for a butter massage. Okay, the bird is all rubbed down. There's a few wet places. I'm going to pat a little more butter there. That's the key to getting the butter to stick, is to dry your turkey. I'm going to put a quartered lemon in the cavity and a quartered onion up inside the cavity as well. And then we will prepare the bottom of our roaster with a few vegetables to flavor the gravy. In the bottom of my roaster, I have 2 quartered onions, and I've left the skin on. Just rinsed it off because this is all going to be strained. But the onion skins will help the gravy be nice and brown. And I've got several celery stalks, some carrots. It's just totally up to you. You can also put the giblets down in here. Like I say, it's all going to be strained. And I should have mentioned the giblets that are stored usually under the head flap of the turkey. And then, of course, the neck will usually be up in the cavity. And you can put all of that in here. It will help to flavor the gravy. We're going to now add our liquid to our roaster. Put a little bit of salt and pepper on our vegetables. I'm going to pour in, this is a cup of sherry and another cup of water. Sorry guys, I'm having to do this with one hand. Put in another 1.5 cups of water. So it's really good and covered, and that's what's going to make your gravy. It's also going to help keep your turkey moist. Those vegetables would actually serve as a rack if you wanted them to, but I'm going ahead and putting the rack down, and it's pretty level. I'm going to put the turkey on and put it in the oven. We are going to start our turkey in a 325-degree oven, and we're going to loosely tint the turkey, and we're going to check it after 2 hours and then remove the tint. I've just taken the tint off after 2 hours, and you can tell that it's starting to cook nicely. I'm going to put this back in without the tint for another hour, and we're going to see what it looks like after that time, or an hour and a half. Okay, this has been after about an hour. I'm going to stick in my digital thermometer and test this out. It's about 170. Let's go down into the thigh right there. And that's way over 165. One thing about brining is it's not going to dry out. That's, you can see that says 163. That's not quite ready. So I'm going to put a tint over it again and just leave it for another 30 minutes or so, and then we'll check it then. Okay, this is after about 30 minutes. We'll check our temp. We are up above 165, right where we need to be. And we're going to let this sit for 45 minutes to an hour covered. Okay, I've removed our turkey. It's sitting here covered with the aluminum foil tint and a dome lid. And I am going to remove just a little bit of the pan drippings to put into a little cup to make a slurry for our gravy. And that's going to cool for a minute, because it'll cool as long as the turkey. And then we will stir in some flour. We will drain all of these drippings and make a wonderful gravy. Okay, for our turkey gravy, in that little bit that we took up earlier, we're going to make a slurry by mixing in about 2 tablespoons of flour. This will keep it from being lumpy when we add it to our gravy. And meanwhile, in this saucepan, I have the rest of the pan drippings that are heating up. We'll stir in our slurry, and we'll stir it until it gets thick, and we'll have a delicious turkey gravy. Okay, our drained turkey pan drippings are boiling. I'm going to add in our slurry, where we put the flour in there. I'm going to whisk this until it gets thick. And we'll be back in a few minutes. The gravy is bubbling and thick and ready to pour on our turkey.